government authorities there have announced that a delegation from the Attorney General's office have met with the businessman Hussein Salem in Spain, where he offered to hand over half his fortune in return for waiving all court rulings against him and releasing his frozen assets. Now, the government office says it won't accept anything less than 60% of his entire asset base. As CCTV's Yasser Hakim now reports, these developments have reignited debate on whether Egypt should accept such deals with corrupt businessmen and former officials of Hosni Mubarak's regime.
To let them pay or not to let them pay is a question asked since members of the former government were convicted of corruption and offered to pay their way out of jail. At the beginning, public opinion and most political parties staunchly refused to pardon the accused, insisting they must be punished. But in the last few months, the situation has been reversed.
I think the worsening state of the economy and the slow inflow of investments and loans has led to these changes. The president himself and his party were completely against it, and now Khairat al-Shatar and Hassan Malek from the ruling party are leading the negotiations with the businessmen. A law has also been amended to allow for such agreements.
Hussein Salem, the business tycoon and close friend of the Mubarak family, accumulated his $6 billion fortune through corrupted tourism investments and the widely controversial gas deal with Israel. The imminent deal with him will open the door for reconciliation with about 50 to 60 others, such as former ministers Rashid Mohammed Rashid and Yusuf Boutros Ghali, who eloped to Europe, where their host countries are not willing to hand them back to Egypt.
Most of the accused are living in the UK now because there is no extradition agreement with Egypt. Egypt is also unable to take the billions they smuggled out. The only thing it managed to do is to freeze their assets inside and abroad.
This is why the accused are accepting to give up sizable parts of their fortunes in return for releasing their frozen assets and acquitting them of any charges. Now the ones jailed in Egypt are offering the same. Even former President Hosni Mubarak and his sons could benefit from the new agreements. According to government figures, amnesties would bring in $20 to $25 billion that were deemed lost. The problem for the president, however, is that to convince public opinions that the ones Egyptians have revolted against would be allowed to walk away without punishment because they managed to pay for their freedom. This is Yasser Hakim for CCTV.